folks, we'll get started here in a few minutes. We're just waiting on just a few last minute stragglers to come in. But we're so excited that you're here today to join us for our GSA 101. If you have a moment, go ahead and drop your name and what county you're from in the chat. Also, I'm Jessica. I'm from Muhlenberg. All right, Jen from Jefferson County. Thank you, Jen. Samara, Hardin County. Carter Lewis. Hello, hello. Parker from Boone. Aiden from Allen. Ellen from Webster. Welcome. Alyssa from Oldham. Claire from Jessamine. Brianna from Jefferson. Got a Hopkins County. Bailey. Welcome. Hello, Emily from Campbell County. Hannah from Laurel. Nicholas from Fayette County. Several Jefferson County folks. We're so glad you're here. Luca from Christian County. Hi. Lillian from Christian County. All right. Representing Western Kentucky. Welcome. More Hopkins County. Lovely. Hi, Macy. All right, folks. Again, if you're just joining us, go ahead and drop your name and what county you're from in the chat. Folks from Woodford County, welcome, welcome. Mason County, hello, Brooks. Got from Clay County, hi, Onyx. More folks from Jefferson County, we're so excited you're here. Landon from Nelson, all right, well, great. We're so glad you're here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and launch a poll just to kind of figure out who all is in the room to see, you know, if we've got students, teachers, that kind of thing. And I'll share kind of our results whenever we're done. So if you're going to go ahead and answer the poll for me. I'll give about another minute for the poll. All right, gonna end the poll real quick. I'll go ahead and share results with everybody. So it looks like we've got a wide range of folks with us today. So creative writing, got a little bit of dance, some design, some drama, film and photography, a few instrumental music, musical theater, visual art, vocal music. And we do have mostly 10th or 11th grade high school students. Thanks, guys. We're so excited you're here. We do have a few parent and guardians and potential applicant. Thank you so much for supporting your student. We really appreciate it. And then we have one student who's a 9th grader or younger. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. You're a little early, but you're getting a lot of great information nice and early. All right, y'all. Well, welcome to today's GSA 101. My name is Jessica Graham. I am the GSA Program Manager here at GSA, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to GSA 101. In this presentation, we'll review what Kentucky Governor School for the Arts, or what we call GSA, is all about. We'll discuss what types of students we're looking for and provide an overview of the application process. Additional virtual information sessions that dig further into the application process will be held later in a few more later in this year. We have a few that we've done already. So some other art forms that we've done. We'll discuss that kind of towards the end, but we'll show you kind of where those recordings live and all that fun stuff. Today's session is being live streamed on Facebook and recorded. The recording will be made publicly available in the coming days. We do have some time for Q&A at the end of the presentation, so feel free to enter your questions as you have them using the Q&A feature here on Zoom. For those of you watching on Facebook, we will try and keep an eye on the stream. If you see any questions or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them there as well. If you're attending this in real time, you will receive a survey at the end of this Zoom session. Please complete that survey, as your responses help ensure our recruitment efforts are helpful and far-reaching as possible. So again, my name is Jessica Graham. I am the GSA Program Manager. I'm going to introduce my coworker, Natalie. Natalie, if you want to hop on and say hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Thompson. I am the GSA Program Coordinator. I attended GSA in 2015 for musical theater, and then went on to attend Western Kentucky University after that. I'm super excited to be here with you all today. Like I said, I attended GSA in 2015. I also worked on a couple summer staffs as an RA and as an intern before joining the team full-time in January. And I'm part of the team that answers your emails and the questions that come in through the GSA helpline. So it's great to meet you all. I might have already met some of you all virtually, but it's great to have you here as well. And just excited to see everybody's applications.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalie. I'm also a GSA alum. I forgot to mention that. I'm an alum from drama in 2007. So all those drama students out there, hi, I'm so excited you're applying. And everybody else included, of course. But yeah, so it's fun whenever you have your someone from your art form applying. Great. And I'm from Western Kentucky. I'm from Muhlenberg County. And I've been with GSA since 2022. So, all right, so keep it going. So first things first, what is GSA? Put simply, the Kentucky Governor School for the Arts is a community of artists that empowers Kentucky's next generation of creative leaders. The primary way we accomplish this, and the reason you're likely watching this presentation, is the GSA Summer Program. GSA Summer Program is a 3-week residential program for high school age artists that take place on a college campus. Students are immersed in intense, it's very intense, just to give you a heads up, it is an intense week, 3 weeks, challenging and exhilarating learning environment in one of 9 art forms. And we'll talk about the art forms here in a minute. And while each student focuses on the one art form they're attending GSA for. So if you're focusing on, creative writing or dance, we do have a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration, and it's a major component of what we do here at the program. So even if you are part of creative writing, you might take a dance class if you, feel comfortable, or if you are a film and photography person, you might collaborate with the drama program. There's a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration. That's why GSA, I feel like, is so special. So as I mentioned, GSA has 9 core art forms. They are creative writing, dance, design, which design was formerly architecture and design. We're just kind of rebranding it a little bit to have just as design. We still include architecture within that. Drama, film and photography, instrumental music, musical theater, visual arts, and vocal music. Class sizes do vary amongst each art form and are generally based off the level of interest we seek in a given art form in the applicant pool. The largest art form is instrumental music, with nearly 50 student spots expected in each of GSA's 2 sessions next summer. Visual art is the next largest, with about 40 students positions anticipated in each session. The smaller art forms are design and film and photography, with about 16 students totals for each of those. The thing about design is that it only occurs in the first session, so there's only 16 students for design, but film and photography, there are 16 for both sessions, so that does occur in 2 sessions. Most other art forms tend to have class sizes in the upper 20s to lower 30s per session, so keep that in mind. I know that's always a big question we get with drama and musical theater. There are 2 sessions of GSA Summer Program. So we were initially 1 3-week program, and now we have 2 3-week programs. You can only attend 1 3-week session, and that's all because of funding from the Kentucky Department of Education that we received in 2021. And again, like I said earlier, so design only occurs in the first session and dance only occurs in the second session. Dance hosts about 40 students in the second session. And the best thing above all for GSA is that we are tuition free. GSA does not charge tuition, river board, or any other fees for attending the program. That includes free meals, free laundry, free, and we'll talk more about laundry here in a little bit, and free board. Keeping the program tuition free has been an important part of GSA's mission since 1987. Before we dive further into what the summer program looks like, let's talk about GSA values. What do we believe in? What is important to us? First of all, we believe artists are vitally important to society. If you are passionate about your art form, that means you are important. You're an artist, and an artist makes vital contributions to our society. They are innovative, problem solving. They inspire. They spark empathy and joy, social dialogue, and human connection. GSA's role is to connect young artists to affirmation, empowerment, resources, and quality education opportunities toward a future that they can be the best version of their creative selves. And we know that behind every artist is a network of support from educators, mentors, family, and friends. So if you are watching this as a guardian or a teacher, or just a cheerleader for your young artist, GSA is here for you as well. Your support and mentorship of young artists is vitally important. Thank you so much for being an arts hero. Of all things GSA, you can expect to encounter the following values. GSA is uplifting. We believe each of us is capable and deserving of a bright and abundant future. GSA is open and communicative. We celebrate the differences between us and seek out other commonalities we might not have realized we shared. GSA is community. We live, learn, and grow together. That's one of my favorite things about GSA is how much of a community we are. As many individuals contribute to something greater than the sum of our parts. GSA is trust and integrity, because without accountability and honor, our commitment to each other, we can't access the three other values: authenticity, vulnerability, and resilience. At GSA, we dare to be our true and best selves, embracing our quirks, growing and learning together, courageously sharing our unique voices with the world, and celebrating each person's worth. GSA is also about Kentucky love. We love Kentucky. With students coming from all corners of the Commonwealth, we discover the cultural richness of our state and develop our roles in creating the future we want to of our home. And of course, GSA is about creativity and innovation. After all, we are artists. We flip the script, we pivot, we design a brighter tomorrow, and we bring color to everyday life. So that's who we are, which is a lot of things. But what kind of students are we seeking to join the GSA Summer Program? So this is a lot of information. We're going to go through each little bit of it. So to be eligible to apply for next summer's program, you must currently be a high school sophomore or junior in Kentucky. And for our folks who are not quite old enough to apply to GSA yet, please keep watching this video. You're going to prepare yourself and be a more even competitive applicant in the years to come. Excuse me. It may come as no surprise that GSA is also looking for students who exhibit skill in their art form. We want to ensure every GSA student is up for the challenge for an intense 3-week experience in their artistic discipline. However, don't be discouraged if you feel like you haven't received a lot of formal training, or if you feel like you don't measure up to your other young artists in the state for one reason or another. So for example, myself, I'm from a rural Western Kentucky area, and I didn't always have I had some community theater experience, but not as much theater experience as I thought I did. And so coming to GSA really opened up a lot of venues for me. Just as we are looking for proven artistic skill, we are also looking for artistic potential. Plus, the only way you can guarantee you won't get into GSA is by not applying. So you have to apply. The application process is designed to help you prepare for your future opportunities, like college applications. So it's a learning experience no matter what. And remember, everyone at GSA, including the adjudicators who score your application, are cheering you on. We want you to do well. We recognize the ambition and the courage it takes to submit your application. So go for it. put yourself out there, which is hard to do. We understand, but we're cheering you on the sideline. Equally as important, GSA looks for students who are passionate about their art form. Why aren't you, we aren't just interested in what you create, but why you create it. Think about what you want to accomplish through your creativity. Do you want to make other people smile? Do you want to spark change, excuse me. At GSA Summer Program, we live, breathe, and eat art. So we're looking for students who exhibit the level of passion and motivation it takes to dive into an opportunity like this one. We're also looking for students who exhibit an ability to collaborate with an open mind. GSA Summer Program is a diverse group of Kentuckians of different identities, perspectives, and walks of life. Students are expected to not only live with people different from themselves, even, you know, we have your rooming assignments, you'll be in a different, ideally in a different room with somebody not from your county and a different art form. But learn from them and create with them. Together, we co-create a powerful community that is larger than, but dependent upon our individual contributions. And of course, we're looking for students who are eager to learn. GSA is designed to challenge you, to present you with new methods, ideas, and concepts. So we're looking for students who are excited to keep growing. We know sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to be challenged, but that's where the trust and support of GSA comes into play. We all learn and grow together. I know every summer I learn something new, I grow. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. It's also worth emphasizing that GSA seeks and welcomes applicants from all backgrounds and identities. That means we seek young artists from across the continuum of and the intersections of race, gender identity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, hometown settings, mental and physical health or ability, language, religious belief, political leaning, or cultural background. Translations of our materials are available upon request. And while the GSA application is online, students without access to reliable internet can contact us via phone to discuss how we can accommodate to their application regardless. All in all, we seek a student body that represents the rich, diverse life experiences and perspectives of Kentucky. Because a very profound way to grow is for all of us to learn from people who are different from ourselves. So let's dig in a little further into the summer program. What's it like? How will you spend your time? Do students actually have to do their laundry? Guess what? You do. But it's great. It's a great time. Lots of learning is happening. On the first day of the program, students move into their residential halls and attend an opening ceremony with their guardians. Then it's time to say goodbye to your family for the entire 3 weeks. That's right. We're a little different from some of the other governor schools scholars programs. Once you say goodbye to your families on opening day, that's the last time you'll see them for an entire 3 weeks. There's no visitation for the entire duration of the program. For some of you, that might be exciting news, and for others, that might sound a little scary. But fear not. Throughout GSA, you will be surrounded by compassionate residential staff, faculty, and a mental health counselor to help you cope with any stress or homesickness that might arise. One thing to note is students aren't allowed to have their cell phones outside of their dorm room. So keep that in mind, no cell phones outside of your dorm room. But you can always call your family and friends at the end of the day. On the second day of the program, we hit the ground running. Each day begins with a provided breakfast, again, free of charge. All your meals are free. Just want to reiterate that. Followed by a morning session attended by the entire school. So a lot of our morning presentations are from artists all across the country and different art forms all over. So you get to, again, that's more that interdisciplinary collaboration that we do. So that morning sessions include performances, presentations, and Q&As with artists from a variety of fields and careers. It's a great way to learn about other art forms, and you might even discover a career in the arts you never knew existed. I know, that's what I did. Didn't know about arts admin, and here I am. Then it's off to class, as we call it GSA studio time. Studio time can consist of many different activities that vary based on your art form of focus. So that can include classes, workshops, rehearsals, demonstrations, field trips, independent work time, and more. You also receive personalized training from a variety of experts in your field, developing mentorship that can last a lifetime. After 3 hours of morning studio, we break for lunch. The afternoon consists of a 4-hour studio period before heading to dinner, and then the evening can look one of three ways. Another studio session until 10 p.m., an all-school assembly featuring a performance or a presentation that's more like a fully produced than the morning session. Morning session's short, the evening session can be longer. Or we have free time in the residential halls with programming led by the RAs. Students can hit the hay or socialize if they want in the residence hall, but lights are out by 11:30 p.m. And Natalie, if I'm wrong on that, please correct me. Days at GSA can be longer than normal school days and can be rigorous. While GSA studio takes place 7 days a week, we start 2 hours later on Saturdays, and students have free time on Sundays until afternoon studio. So we'll start studios around 2 o'clock, and of course you'll have lunch and breakfast. However, depending on program needs, students might have to do activities before studios on the weekend. For example, sometimes you'll have an early morning field trip, depending on what art form you're in. On Sundays, transportation to nearby houses of worship can be arranged for students by GSA staff. There are only 2 days without studio. One of these days is typically an all-school event, such as a field trip, and the other day is geared towards rest and the activities planned by the residential life staff. Or we like to call that our kind of field day. Back in the dorm, students experience a rich residential life program. Each student is assigned a residential advisor, or an RA for short. You can think of this as the RA as a GSA kind of mom or dad. They also live in the dorm with you on your hall and serve as mentors who support your ability to have a successful and fun GSA experience. You can always go to them, especially if you're feeling homesick or, you're like, oh, I'd like to talk to a mental health counselor. This is the person you go to. Each student is a member of their RA's group, which consists of other GSA students from different art forms and various parts of the state. It's a pretty diverse group that you get to kind of know one-on-one with. You can think of the other students in your RA group as your GSA siblings. While you can spend plenty of time socializing outside of your RA group, there are a cohort of fellow young artists who you'll have regular communication and bonding with. GSA students tend to develop friendships at the program that last a lifetime. After all, in our everyday life at home, being an artist can often set us apart from others. But at GSA, it's what we all have in common. It creates this very special kind of bond. Even though so much of GSA is spent in studio, RAs organize a variety of fun activities for students outside of class time. This can include exercise and sports groups, coffee house, which is a kind of talent show that you get to perform for your other GSA folks that are with you, Spirit Week, crafts, which are some of my favorites, and skill building groups. As mentioned in the earlier slide, the RAs help plan and execute the 2 free days that we have. In 2023, the day was called Swinter, which is summer and winter together, so Swinter as a field day. This day had a nice assortment of indoor and outdoor activities, including a spike ball tournament, cookie decorating, lots of fun, and a volleyball tournament. The day ended with a school dance. While we encourage everyone to participate, this can also be an opportunity to have a lazy day in your dorm room too. The GSA Summer Program takes place on a beautiful campus of the University of Kentucky in Lexington. So again, all those 3 weeks are going to be on University of Kentucky's campus. Students live in Holmes Hall, UK's fine arts residential hall that features not only state-of-the-art student living spaces, but also a dance studio, a writing lab, art studio, and practice rooms. Each GSA student is assigned their own room with a roommate from a different art form in a different county. If you are curious about the room layouts, you should Google University of Kentucky's Holmes Hall, a website, and you can look at the dorm layout so you can just kind of get an idea. Floors are assigned by gender, and while we work with non-binary and transgender students to ensure they have a customized housing situation that is comfortable for them. Beyond Holmes Hall, students experience the wide array of stunning facilities at UK, including meals in Champion's Kitchen, which is located within the Student Center, as well as the School of the Arts and Visual Studies, the Singletary Center for the Arts, the Fine Arts Building, and the Schmidt Vocal Arts Center. Throughout their time on campus, students are held to a high code of conduct upon prior to the arrival to the summer program. And oh yes, you do have to do your laundry. As I've stated, GSA is a great lesson in independence and self-sufficiency. Both sessions of GSAs take place on UK's campus. On the final day of the program, family and friends are invited to come back to campus and to celebrate all of your hard work throughout the 3 weeks. At the end of the 3 weeks, every art form does a showcase as some form of their work. The day is full of performances, readings, and gallery exhibitions. The day concludes with a graduation ceremony, and then everyone heads home for some well-deserved rest. But the GSA experience doesn't end after the summer program. GSA has a lifelong commitment to our alumni, supporting them toward a quality and accessible college experience, and championing them as creative citizens for decades to come. GSA alumni receive scholarships to nearly 30 colleges and universities across the country. A full listing of these are available on our website under the alumni section. GSA alumni also receive a significant college and career coaching by way of a college fair during the summer program. So we have all these colleges that come to visit, and we take time, I think it's on a Friday, sometimes for you to go and visit those colleges. And through continued mentorship with the GSA faculty and staff. Alumni are also eligible to apply for GSA's Toyota Alumni Fund, which provides $10,000 a year in grant funding to support alumni artistic development. And of course, students are connected to nearly 8,000 other GSA alumni who are creating exciting work in a variety of fields across the globe. Excuse me. So hopefully by now you are on the edge of your seat saying, GSA sounds like the perfect program for me. How can I apply? So we're going to chat about that process. So first off, some big picture highlights for the application review process. Every applicant must complete an online application unless you need accessibility with internet and things like that. But you must complete this application for GSA 2023. As we mentioned earlier, students with reliable internet access are encouraged to contact us let me backtrack. As we mentioned earlier, students without reliable internet access are encouraged to contact us via phone about accommodations. The entire application process for GSA from start to finish includes 2 rounds. The first round is a completely virtual. Every student who submits an application will be considered in this first virtual round. Then some of the applicants are invited to participate in a second and final round of the audition process. This gives them the designation of being a GSA finalist. The GSA class is selected from these GSA finalists, aka the applicants who advance to the second round. Throughout the GSA process, we will never ask for your GPA, SAT, or ACT scores. While we know these are commonly used indicators of student success, we actually seek out other indicators to fit for your fit for the GSA program. Students can apply up to 2 art forms. As we know, artists are often multidisciplinary. Instrumentalists, if you apply, you can apply for on 2 different instruments if you desire, but that will count as your 2 art forms, and you will not be able to submit a 3rd application. There is a $35 application fee collected just before submitting your application. There is an additional $15 fee if you apply for 2 art forms. So again, first application is a $35 fee, and then if you submit a second application, it's a $15 fee. Students on free and reduced lunch can have this fee completely waived by the click of a button in the application. No questions asked. While we seek a diverse student body from across the entire state, there are no demographic acceptance quotas for GSA. This means that we don't accept a certain number of students from each county or high school, nor do we seek specific quotas for gender, race, age, grade in school, etc. In lieu of quotas, GSA adjudicators review each applicant in the context of their artistic ability, their potential, their access to resources, and the identities and perspectives that they have to offer. Ultimately, choosing a GSA class that's prepared for the summer program experience and represents a vast array of Kentuckian experiences. You may be aware that GSA is one of 3 awesome governor school programs in Kentucky. The other 2 being Kentucky Governor Scholars Program, GSP, and the Governor School for Entrepreneurs, GSE. Both GSP and GSE are awesome programs, and while all 3 programs are residential summer programs for talented high schoolers, note that our application process are very different. A lot of people are especially familiar with GSP application process because it significantly relies on the involvement of students' high school. Take note that overall GSA's application process has less formal involvement with the applicant school than GSP's. And a student can apply for GSA without any kind of approval from their school. Schools do not nominate students for GSA, and while we encourage students to consult with their teachers and counselors before the application process, it is possible for their role in the application to be limited to the recommendation form, which we will discuss in a little bit. All right, so everything you need to know about GSA, and including the link to access the application, will be found at our website at www.kentuckygsa.org with the word Kentucky spelled out. Note that our website is embedded within the larger site of Kentucky Performing Arts, which manages the performing arts spaces here in Louisville. If you accidentally click a link that takes you to a page about shows or tickets, just go back to the previous page or go back to our homepage using the URL kentuckygsa.org. On our website, you will find a very important document for your art form called the applicant guide. This is your Bible. This is your go-to in order to apply to GSA. There are 9 applicant guides in total, 1 for each art form. We cannot emphasize enough, read the applicant guide for your art form in full before you start your application, and consult it often throughout your application process. This year's applicant guides are available now. They were available starting October 5th. So you should be able to access those right now. The applicant guide should be your one-stop shop for all the information you will need during the application process. Excuse me, I think I lost my place. The applicant guide includes a description of your art form's curriculum during the summer program, an overview of what you need to submit in the online application, an overview of what you will be asked of you in the final round of the application, and the criteria your application will be scored on, and a list of tips from adjudicators. So a lot of things, lots and lots of things, very important to read all through that. If you have any lingering questions after reading the applicant guide, please check out our FAQ sheet or contact us with any questions that you may have, and we'll provide the contact information at the end of this webinar. And for the question about how much longer we've got for this overview, I think we've got about I've got about 8 more slides to go. So, but they're pretty short. But this is kind of the good stuff. So, if you want to hang out just for about 5 more minutes, along with the applicant guides, we also have a applicant walkthrough video that will take you through the online application step by step. Just kind of give you a general overview of what that's like. So as you dig into the applicant guide, here's an overview of what you'll learn every applicant has to submit as part of their initial GSA application. So the application for GSA 2024 will be available October 5th, or is available as of October 5th. It is due by January 14th. So you can go ahead and start on it today. You can fill out part 1 of the application is really simple. It's, your name, your phone number, your address, and then you can save from there and come back to it as you go along. As when you click the Apply Now button on GSA's website, you'll be moved to GSA's application portal, which is a separate site called Accepted, which is spelled ACCEPTD. That is correct. There's no E at the end of the T or after the T. You will create a profile within Accepted, and then you will proceed with your application. Well, the GSA team is here to help you with any questions that you may have about your application. Accepted has their own technology support team if you contact them, if you have any glitches or any video issues. All right. Make sure I didn't forget anything. I will also say accepted is used for a lot of other applications, including colleges. Colleges all across the country use accepted for their application process. So you might actually end up using accepted again as you apply to colleges. Students will be asked some basic demographic information, contact info. And then they will be asked to identify 2 recommenders. Applicants provide contact information for each recommender, and then accepted emails each recommender an online form to fill out. You never have to submit a letter of recommendation or turn anything in on behalf of your recommenders. We strongly recommend you complete this part of the application process as early as possible, so your recommenders have plenty of time to complete the form before January 14th deadline. Both recommenders will complete the same form in which they'll be asked about your artistic abilities, your potential, how you contribute to your learning environment and your community, and your overall character and fit for GSA. If you have mentors or teachers who know your artistic work, they are probably the best people to complete these forms. And if you don't, no worries, simply choose someone who knows you as a student or contributing member of a group organization, like a club, youth group, sports team, etc. Your recommenders can be teachers from inside of a school or outside of a school, mentors, community leaders, school administrators. Their job titles matter less, and their ability to speak about your strengths matter more. Be sure to contact your recommenders in advance before you put in their email for them to fill out your forms. So make sure you be like, is it okay if I put you down as a recommender? So that way they know that it's coming in their inbox and they can give you a glowing recommendation. Next, students across all 9 art forms will respond to 2 essay prompts. One will be a response that will be written, and the other one will be a video of a verbal response. Students who respond to some art form specific questions about their experience and interest in their areas. From there, students will be prompted to submit images, videos, and documents specific to your art form requirements. Again, carefully review the applicant guide to figure out what your art form requires. For some art forms, this will be as simple as 1 or 2 uploads. For other art forms, you'll need to create multiple short videos. Give yourself plenty of time to gather your materials by reading the applicant guide as soon as possible. I highly recommend after we end today's webinar to go ahead and review that. And remember, we are super excited to see your artwork and review your application. We know it can be really intimidating to submit your work for scoring and judging, but know that we want you to do well, and we will be impressed with your ambition, your discipline, and courage you've exhibited by submitting an application in the first place. So now we're going to wrap up the presentation a little bit. I'm going to review some dates for the GSA timeline. Of course, our application is live. We've had our GSA 101 webinars are going on. We do have one more that is December 6th. If you know somebody who would be, the slightest interest in GSA, we highly suggest reviewing this webinar so you can kind of know what GSA is about. And then if you have a friend who wasn't able to attend our webinar, that's okay. Just have them watch our video of our recordings. And then we also have art form specific webinars. We have 2 more left. We have drama, which will be tomorrow. So all of my drama students, I hope you're signed up for the drama webinar. And if not, you can sign up on our website. And then we have vocal music on November 20th. So if you have any vocal music students, that would be great to go ahead and sign up for that as well. But if you missed your art form webinar, that's okay. We do have that uploaded to our website. You can view that on YouTube. Remember, these webinars are not the only way to get questions answered. You can also email us as well. The GSA application is due by end of the day, January 14th. So note that the January 14th is a Sunday, and the GSA office is not staffed on the weekends. So January 12th is the last day to call or email us with questions. Please, please, please do not wait to the last minute to upload your application, if at all possible. The application system will inherently run slow as more people submit their application the final day or 2. So do yourself a nice favor and get your application in nice and early. We recommend completing your application at least 1 week in advance of January 14th deadline. Students will learn if they've advanced to the second and final round on February 16th, about 1 month before the final round auditions that take place February 15th and 16th. You can see those dates right there. GSA's final round auditions will be a hybrid, which means some auditions and reviews will take place in person at the University of Kentucky, and some of them will take place online via Zoom. Full details are in your applicant guide. So again, review that applicant guide. We will announce the GSA class of 2024, as well as alternates placed on the wait list on April 12th. And then finally, what we're all been waiting for, the dates of GSA 2024. Session 1 is June 9th to June 29th, 2024. Again, that's the one that includes design. And then session 2 is July 7th to July 27th, 2024. And that's the one that includes dance. So all students will attend one of 2 sessions listed above. Thank you, Natalie, for dropping those dates in the chat. I was about to do that. Students are assigned to which session they attended, and will learn which session they've been accepted to along with the class announcement. So what else can you be doing right now to prepare for yourself to apply to GSA? Well, hopefully these final tips are fun ones. Dive into your art form every chance you can, whether it's taking a class, practicing, sketching, or writing at home, or even just researching the work of other artists online. Learn and experience as much as you can, even if it's just on YouTube. And form opinions about what you like and what you learn. Why did you like a piece of artwork? How do you see GSA's criteria and the work of other artists? Who are some of your favorite artists that you admire? Second, reflect on why you like engaging in the arts and what kind of artist you want to be. And then get comfortable talking about it with other people. It's a great way to kind of prepare for final round auditions. We know it can sometimes be uncomfortable to talk about yourself as an artist, but you've got nothing to lose. Chat with your family and friends about your art form, your dreams for your artistic future, and how you want to grow. Maybe even ask them about your creative interests as well, even if it's cooking or crafting. It's a great way to prepare for the GSA application process, and it can be a wonderful way to deepen your relationships with friends and family. Throughout all of this, remember that while GSA is a wonderful program, we are not the end-all be-all. We do not get to determine whether you are a good artist or not, or whether you have a future in the arts. The GSA application process is competitive. We usually see about 1,200 to 1,400 applicants in our 512 spots, but please don't let that hold you back. We hope that you'll apply because you believe you deserve an opportunity like this one. If ultimately you are not accepted into the program, our hope is that you feel proud of putting yourself out there and that you feel more determined and prepared for other opportunities. You are an artist no matter what, and no one, including GSA, can take that away from you. So if at any time throughout the application process you start to have self-doubt, if you have second thoughts, or feel down about yourself, we hope that you remember these next few things. You are enough. You are important. You are an artist. Your potential is limitless. And no one, especially not GSA, can take that away from you. All right, y'all. So this is kind of the end of the presentation. If you have any questions, of course, we have our Q&A that we'll do at the end, but in the future, as you go throughout this process, if you have any questions, this is our number. It's 502-566-5192. Or gsainfo@kentuckyperformingarts.org with Kentucky spelled out. And there are no scary adults here at GSA, especially in the admin. We're not here waiting to judge you. We love chatting with you so much. And it is our pleasure and our job to help you out. Follow us on social media as well. So you can see our Facebook and our Instagram handle right there. You can search our program through Facebook and Kentucky Governor School for the Arts. And thank you guys so much for attending this virtual info session. Now that you're armed with this information, you are well on your way to being the best GSA applicant you can be. So keep in touch with us. If you have any more questions, good luck. And as we say at GSA, go forth and make great art. All right, y'all. So we have lots of questions. I'm gonna stop sharing. We have lots of questions in the chat, or the Q&A, excuse me. That's what I meant. All right, Natalie, what do you think you'd like for everyone to hear?
Yeah. So we'll start off actually with a question from Facebook. So Liana asked, what were the summer dates again for the 2 sessions? So I'm just going to read those out again just for anybody that might be watching this later, can't see the chat, or might be watching on Facebook. GSA session 1, 2024 is going to be June 9th through June 29th, 2024. And session 2 this summer is going to be from July 7th to July 27th, 2024. So those are our 2 summer sessions. Students are required to be there from opening day to final day, and that's the 3 weeks that they'll spend on campus with us. So we've got a couple of really great questions in the Q&A. I've been holding on to some of them, so if you haven't gotten a typed answer yet, it's because I'm going to read it out for you. So I'm going to start with this question. Do you have to have a certain level of skill to apply for an art form? So not necessarily, obviously it needs to be something that you're passionate about and that, you enjoy pursuing. But kind of as Jessica mentioned, we look a lot for artistic potential and what you have access to in terms of like training. So you don't necessarily have to be the best person in your art form to get accepted to GSA. I went to GSA for musical theater and had never had a voice lesson before in my life. And I was still able to go and get a lot from the program. So there's not necessarily like certain benchmarks that you have to hit to be considered for GSA. That said, there are in each applicant guide a set of criteria that the adjudicators are going to be using when they take a look at your applications. So you might want to keep those criteria in mind when you're crafting your materials, but those are in each applicant guide for the art form. Are students allowed to carry supplies in bags to studio time? Yes, you are. You will actually get we'll post what are called discipline letters on our website that you'll be able to view before you come to summer program. And some of those may have some recommended supplies that the faculty would like you to bring. And you are welcome to bring a bag to take those supplies to and from the dorm to your studio time. You are definitely welcome to do so. Where can we find more information about the dorms? The website that Jessica mentioned. So all students stay in Holmes Hall on the University of Kentucky campus.
And Holmes is spelled Holmes. I think that's
Yes.
a helpful hint.
Yes. So you'll just want to Google University of Kentucky Holmes Hall, and it should bring up a website about the dorm, and it also should have room layouts. Just as a general info, you will share a 2-bedroom suite with a roommate, and then you all will share a bathroom and a common space together. So it's not community style living, it's suites. So you can view more information about that on UK's website. If one session doesn't work for you, are you able to switch and attend the other sessions? So GSA does assign sessions for you. So when you find out if you are accepted to the program or not, you will also find out which session you've been assigned to at the same time. You do have an opportunity to request to be placed in a specific session and to give a reason for that request. So say, I'm going to be out of the country the entire month of July. Can I please be placed in the first session? We do our best to honor all of those requests, but we ultimately can't guarantee placement in a specific session. But you will have the opportunity to request that. And like I said, we really do take that into account and do our best to accommodate as many of those as possible, all of them if we can. For film and photography, are there cameras that can be lent out? Absolutely. So each film and photography student will actually, at least in the past, and I, Jessica, correct me if I'm wrong, as far as I know that is not changing. Each student is actually provided with a camera. You're encouraged to bring any equipment that you have if you'd like to, but you do not necessarily have to have a professional grade camera to come to GSA for film and photography. Let's see. We have a student asking to elaborate a little bit on trans and non-binary room assignments. So basically what we do is we handle those a bit on a case-by-case basis. So floors are divided by binary gender. So generally we'll have maybe 2 female floors and a male floor. But any student who identifies outside of those 2 binary options, they are definitely encouraged to reach out to the program after their acceptance to discuss a housing solution that works best for them. So like I said, those are kind of handled on a case-by-case basis, but once you're accepted, you are welcome to contact us and we will be happy to find a solution that makes everybody feel comfortable. Let's see. Do you have to pay for laundry? No, you don't. It's free. It's really great. A lot of times when you're in college, there's not free laundry, but they turn those washers and dryers off pay mode for GSA, and it is lovely. Thank you very much, UK.
How many students are accepted into the instrumental music program? So total of 98, but we split those 98 students into two different sessions.
Can you also go through the dance numbers, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So dance, we accept 40 students, and that is only in second session. So, so there's 40 students in that are accepted into the dance program. So please apply.
Yep. Do we get to choose the programs we do, or are they selected for us based on our ability? So since you're applying in specific art forms, you're choosing which art forms you're applying to. So saying, you know, my strengths lie in musical theater and creative writing. I'm going to submit one musical theater application and one creative writing application. If you are accepted into both, that does happen. You will only attend GSA for one of those art forms. You do have the opportunity to list a preference for art form. If you are applying and have been chosen as a finalist for two of them. So they will have, you'll have an option to choose which one you would prefer. And generally speaking, most people get that preference. Sometimes just logistics require us to assign a student to an art form that they did not list as their preference. That's pretty rare. So my advice to you would be, if you are planning on applying for two art forms, make sure that you would be just as happy to attend GSA for one of them as you are for the other, because there is that possibility that we might not be able to place you within your preference. But like I said, that does tend to be pretty rare. Let's see. Okay, we have a question. Are you given a piece of music for the audition process of musical arts? Could you resubmit this question and specify whether you're talking about musical theater, vocal music, or instrumental music for me? That way I can know which one you're asking about, so I can give you the correct answer there. Do you need two art teachers for a recommendation? If so, what if you only have one? No, not necessarily. So we recommend trying to find adults who can speak to your artistic ability. But if you don't have two of those people in your life, that's totally fine. Instead, we suggest looking for somebody who can speak kind of to your character, to your work ethic, how you work in a group. So that could be somebody like a science teacher. It could be, you know, a coach on a team that you're on, or if you volunteer for an organization, an adult that works there. It doesn't necessarily have to be two people that speak directly to your artistic abilities. Although if you have that, we recommend trying to get recommendations from both of them. Can we apply to be accepted into a certain session? Similar, you'll be able to request those sessions, but we ultimately can't guarantee that placement, but they do take that into account. Let's see. If you, sign up for two art forms. So we already kind of covered this. If you apply for two, you'll only attend GSA for one art form. So you won't be able to attend GSA for both art forms at the same time. But you will be able to, attend GSA for one of those art forms, and you'll be able to submit your preference. Let's see. Can we have more than two recommendations from instructors? Unfortunately, no. You gotta whittle it down to two. So those will be part of that'll be one of the first pieces of information that you submit, during the application process, and you'll list two email addresses for two different recommenders. So limit of two, pick the two that you think best can speak to your artistic ability and your character.
So we have a question of how many percussion students are accepted across the two sessions. So that's a really great question. So instrumental music does not have a limit on how many students of like woodwinds, brass, strings, etc. How many they accept. It just depends on who all applies. So they do try to create a kind of chamber music style setting, and so they want to have a good roundabout numbers of everyone, but there is no limit. So that's the good news. So definitely apply, especially if you're a percussionist. Of course everyone should apply, but We love percussionists. It's a great time. But so that's the good news, is that there is no limit. The limit does not exist.
I want to bring in another question from Facebook. Dawn asked, is there a packing list? If so, where can we find it? If not, what are some things we'll need to bring? So there is, once students are accepted, they are provided with a pretty extensive information packet that does include a packing list. It is not available until students are accepted. It will be sent directly to accepted students. But generally, when you're thinking about what you might bring to GSA, the biggest thing is clothes to last you 3 weeks, comfort items, thinking about stocking the dorm with things like toilet paper, paper towels, towels for your shower, basic things like that. And then also, so we'll provide a general packing list, and then there will also be art form specific supplies that the faculty are requesting that you bring to the summer program, and that'll be provided in the discipline letters. So and then obviously, like, if you have any kind of like questions about how to get supplies or need assistance getting supplies for GSA, we definitely welcome any requests. You can make a request to our admin team to help provide those things for you. We just don't want any kind of barriers of access to the program. Something as simple as, picking up a couple of paintbrushes for somebody. We don't want that to hinder them from coming to the program. But more information will be provided to accepted students and their families after that class announcement in April. Alrighty, so going back to the specific pieces question, we got clarification, instrumental music. No biggie, it happens. So for the instrumental music application, you do, when you're looking at the applicant guide, it will specify what types of videos that you need to submit. That includes some scales videos, and then it also includes a personal solo video. So you do not have to choose a specific piece for that personal solo video. If you are chosen as a finalist to move on to that second round of adjudication, they will assign you an excerpt of music to learn and to bring with you to that final round audition. But for the initial application that's due on January 14th, no, you do not have to pick a specific piece of music for your personal solo, and there are tips for choosing your music in the applicant guide. Alrighty. Are you allowed to bring your laptop? Yes, you are. It is, we don't generally allow like cell phones or electronic devices off of your dorm floor. So just be aware of that, and also know that sometimes free time at GSA can be a little bit limited just because you're in studio often, or if you're not in studio, then you're hanging out with all these amazing new friends that you made 2 weeks ago and can't imagine life without anymore. And so sometimes that can be a little bit limited, but you're definitely welcome to bring it to keep with you in your dorm. And some art forms do request that you bring a laptop. That'll be specified in your discipline letter. If you are not accepted into the program as a sophomore, can you apply to the same program as a junior? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we actually, if you're not accepted as a sophomore, we encourage you to reapply. Sometimes all it takes is that 1 year, and, it's so wild to see the difference a year can make in the applications, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, I remember this person from last year, and then you look at what they submit a year later and you're like, wow, they've grown so much. So yes, definitely you are allowed to reapply in the same program, the same art form, if you don't get in as a sophomore. All righty. In the applicant guide, it says every image needs to be in portrait format, but for visual art, there is a landscape. Is there a certain way you all want that formatted? Jess, do you have any guidance on that portrait?
That's a really great question. The landscape question in general is kind of a vague question, because we would like to see, you know, what kind of landscape means to you, situation, but it should still be in that kind of portrait mode as far as just the shape or the image size instead of like a large landscape. It should just be in portrait, if that makes sense. And if you would like any more clarification on that, just feel free to go ahead and email us at the GSA info at. We'll actually reach out to the adjudicators, the one who created this applicant guide, and we'll just clarify that information because I think that's a really great question.
Yeah.
So feel free to email us. That'd be great. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Let's see. In the visual art application, can we do abstract, or is there a specific technique preferred? Nope, absolutely not. That's a great question. But generally they try to, kind of look at everybody's different styles, and just be prepared to kind of talk about the style that you like and why you like it, and how you got to that place. But generally speaking, no, you don't need to be like hyper realistic or super abstract. There's not necessarily one or the other that gets in over the other one. Let's see, will we be allowed to visit people in different dorms? Unfortunately, no. So GSA does not allow any kind of visitation to people in other programs that are on campus at the same time, from family or friends, anything like that. So once your loved ones drop you off on opening day, then you are in GSA mode until final day. Obviously, if there is some kind of family emergency or anything like that that comes up, we make exceptions to that. But generally speaking, we don't allow visitation on campus or off campus, including to students in different summer programs that are also on UK's campus. If you need your phone for a medical reason, then that is something that you would want to reach out to the program about, so we can chat about what kind of accommodations we can make for you. That's something that you'd want to reach out to the program about after you have been accepted, and we'll discuss kind of specifics on a case-by-case basis. We definitely don't want to deprive you of any medical supplies or anything that you need to keep yourself healthy and safe. Alrighty. Would we have one or two roommates, and what if we wish to switch? So GSA does assign roommates. Generally, we try to pair people from different parts of the state and who are in different art forms. That is a very intentional part of the program. It's a way for us to help you make connections with people who might live very differently than you. We don't take roommate requests, generally speaking. And from what I understand, it's one roommate, and you all each have your own separate room within the suite. So the suite has 2 bedrooms, and you each have one bedroom to yourself, and it does have a door that closes between you and the common space. So you're not sharing a bedroom with your roommate, you're just sharing a common suite. And then if you have any issues throughout the program with your roommate, that's something that your RA is 100% the best person to talk to about. They are masters at kind of mediating that and helping everybody come to conclusions that work for everyone. So that is kind of what I'll say about that. So if there are any issues throughout the program, just turn to your RA. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you through. Alrighty.
The question about the landscape format, go ahead and email us again for that question, just so we can get clarification from the adjudicator. We just don't want to give you incorrect information, and we're just not 100% sure on that. So thank you.
Yeah, we'll loop in the adjudicators on that and get their opinion on
it. Get that question answered.
Yes. Are we allowed off-campus during free time, similar to GSP? Unfortunately, no. So we do have a couple different rules from other programs, like GSP and GSE. So at GSA, you are not allowed off-campus unless you are with a GSA adult. You will not have access to, if you have your license and have a car, you will not be allowed to have that on campus. It is something that you're going to be dropped off by your loved ones, and then you're going to be picked up by your loved ones. But during free time, you will have options of like where you'd like to go. There's a large courtyard outside of Holmes that is very popular hangout space, as well as lots of different places within the dorm where you can hang out. There's foosball tables, there's common areas. I mean, you'll have options. So it's not like you're going to be cooped up in your dorm room or only on your dorm floor during free time. You'll have plenty of options of places to go, just not off campus. For anyone with medication, do we need to turn in medical forms? So actually, after you are accepted to the program, everybody, even if you take medications or not, will turn in some medical documentation. So you and your parent or guardian will fill that out together. That's also where they will give permission for you to come to the program and for us to take pictures of you, et cetera, et cetera. They'll submit insurance information. That'll be through a medical documentation software that we use. Currently, we use a software called CampDoc. And all of that information will be explained to you upon acceptance, including the deadlines, how to access that, and that'll all be submitted online prior to your arrival at the program. Let's see.
The questions in the chat, Natalie, I've already answered.
Perfect.
Do we have any more on Facebook?
Not currently.
All right. Well, y'all, thank you so much for being here. I know this is a lot of information thrown at you. But we really appreciate all your good questions. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate your time. If you have any more, again, please contact us. We're so excited to get to know you, get to meet you, answer all your lovely questions. We so look forward to your application. I know it brings us, every time we get a new county, we get so excited. We're like, there's a new county here. So please represent your county. Please represent your art and have a great time. And yeah, we're so excited. So go forth and make great art, y'all. It's a great time. So
yeah.
All right. If don't have any more questions. All right. Everyone have a lovely night. Oh, we got one more.
Oh. Yes. So email your question to us. We'll loop in the visual art adjudicators and we'll let you know what they say.
Yes, that's a good question. All right.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening. Thank you all.